Lil'Black's all wound up today. We're doing better actually because we had the most viewings last week we've ever had. So thank you very much, and I see a lot of you shared it, and it means so much to me, and thank you so much. I know who you are, blah, blah, blah. Well, Lil'Black and I got in a little more trouble this week, not like last week. We didn't almost get arrested, but I was in New York a few days with my husband and my 15-year-old, and of course, you know, my the one that we went to was the Polo Lounge that Ralph Lauren has. And so we're sitting there, and you know what I do? I put Lil'Black in a bag, in his little bag, and I take my Hermes scarves, and I, of course, today I have my Versace scarf, my little gift, and I wrap them all around the bag, and so it looks like a tote bag. I put it on my arm, and I leave the top flap of the scarf off of his face so he can see out. So then, right before I walk in the restroom, I put the flap down so he can't see out, and I walk in and I put him under the table. So he's under the table. So I'm like, oh, we got in another restaurant. Nobody asked any questions. Now, by law, they're supposed to let you because they have the paperwork.
I have to get up. Oh, now you're live?
Okay, we're live. So we're having technical problems. Wi-Fi, the building. Oh, all this, well, the dues we pay. Anyway. So I have him under the table like I always do, and then I'm sitting there, I order a glass of wine, I'm like, oh good, we snuck in, nobody noticed, he's happy, everybody's happy, everybody starts ordering, and then I look over, and I see this little dog running around, and I'm like, boy, it's no problem. Somebody else has their dog here. And then I didn't have my glasses on, and then my husband turns around, and then the waiter runs and scoops up the dog. It was Lil'Black. He was running loose in the restaurant, and I was worried the waiters were gonna step on him. And then the guy was so nice. It shows you the difference in class and trash. When the waiter was so nice, he goes, "Don't worry, Mrs. Black." I put him back under the thing. I said, "You wouldn't have even known he was here." He goes, "Don't even worry." I said, "Well, I have his papers." He goes, "It's not a problem." I was like, now this is a fine dining restaurant compared to that that almost called cops on me. But anyway, that was that. So there's a lot going on in the news. We have a lot to talk about today. Thanks for watching. Between Facebook, YouTube, and all the platforms, we're just killing it, you guys. I'm so happy. Well, I hung out with Frankie Grande in New York a lot, and he is hilarious. We walk out of my hotel, and within 3 minutes, 30 seconds, I go, "Frankie, there's a gorgeous glitter piece of art in the window. It has your name on it. It's American Express, done by the same artist that did my portrait." And beside that, they had Marilyn Monroe and Bridget Bardot. I'm like, oh my God, I'm a big deal. This guy did my portrait for me. And Frankie goes, "I want that American Express." So he bought that piece of art. And so I pointed out and he bought it. I was so happy because his artist had been so generous to me. And then, you know, we did style code and this and that. We had fun together. Oh, and all the gossip we caught up on. Oh, gay is the new black, as we say. So that's our trademark I'm fighting with Lionsgate over. Oh, Lord. So anyway, to get right to it, so we're going to talk about the Housewives, some questions that came in, some beauty tips. Back.
There we go.
There we go. We're back. So on the Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills is so good. It's a combination of the glamour, the girls, and the production. The production knows how to make that show happen. They make it tight. They get all that stuff in. It's really a great show. So anyway, so remember I predicted, or I kept saying, I said, you know, that Dorit is just craving Erica's approval. And so last night, Erica says, "Dorit, you're craving my approval and my friendship." And Dorit's, "Oh, why would I do that?" Well, like, because you've been saying it every week. But anyway, she's so Erica says, "Well, you're just desperate for my friendship to Dorit." And Dorit's like, "You're not fun. You're cold as ice. You know, you're not even nice." And I'm like, oh, I could write a rap song. "You're cold as ice. You're not even nice." But anyway, so the bottom line, what's stewing underneath the surface, which You know, it was still brewing. You know, these girls, you know, that it's so easy for people to say, well, just get over something and move on. Well, it is easy to get over it when it doesn't happen to you, but when it happens to you, it's not necessarily so easy to get over. So underneath that was Erica still irritated with the fact that Dorit made such a big deal out of Pantygate. And the root of that was that, you know, she didn't want to embarrass her husband. Well, all of that's understandable, but she really could have just gotten all that off of her double D chest a while back, but she didn't. And so it's still brewing. But it's not, I don't think that it's like a grudge or that it's brewing. I think it's a trust issue. When someone does something that you think they've wronged you, it's not that easy to get the trust back. So that's what's been brewing and it's underneath it. So bottom line, Erica's feelings are hurt. Erica's, I don't think, cold at all. I think she's sensitive. I think she puts on this front because she doesn't want to let everybody in, and who would blame her? But then Dorit questions if she even has feelings. And then, you know, Erica finally says, well, just stop talking to me. Just don't talk to me. I'm just like, oh my God, this is hilarious. And then, don't get in my face. Just do not get in my face, she says to Lisa Rinna. And Lisa Rinna is getting ready to step it again. She goes, well, Lisa Rinna is just low class. And I'm like, oh girl, you just don't want to get Lisa Rinna going. You don't want to tangle with her. You're just tangling now with Erica. Do you really want to tangle now with Forrest Gump that's going to stumble into more drama and make it worse for you? So I was like, oh my God. And then, you know, Brenda goes, well, you have that fake accent. And they go back and forth. And, you know, Kyle is just sitting there back and forth and looking around. And she's trying to stay out of it. And she doesn't want to get in the mix. She doesn't want to be the next target, you know. And then Lisa Vanderpump feels like everyone's piling on Dorit because she felt like she was piled on last year. So you got to realize where her listening is coming from and her viewing and her observations are, well, they piled on me, so they're obviously piling on you. Oh my God, but Erica, I realize, is not that easy to forgive and forget, and she does let things see, she sees on things a little bit, and then, oh my God, poor Eileen. Eileen's like the normal one, and she's been so supportive of Erica the whole time, and then I noticed, a while back, I noticed that Erica had tweeted, you know, what was Eileen doing on the show? She brought nothing to the show. And I was thinking to myself, well, I hope that was a long time ago because Erica has been nothing but supportive. Yes, are you bored? Of Eileen. Well, the audience isn't. And so, you're not bored. Just send your questions in at hello.Lil'Black.com and tell me you're not bored. And so then Eileen just makes a reference, well, what would it take for you to get over it? I mean, it's not like she killed your kid or something. Don't talk about my kid. And then that whole thing started, and you could tell Eileen was so taken back, and I felt sorry for her. It was just one drama after the other, and then when you think you can't get any more drama in one dinner, these girls should just, I think the dog's got here, these girls should not sit down at a dinner table together. Remember the one before with the martinis and the cigarette and the psychic? My goodness, now, Camille's party. Now, this is the next one. So they always are having these parties, these fights at the dinner. So now Lisa Rinna, who just cannot, and I would agree with Kyle. Kyle goes, when your lips are that big, does that mean you can't keep them shut? And I'm like, oh, Lisa, please don't say it. I see it starting to come. I'm like, come on, reel it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Blurts it out. Well, when I left the dinner, everybody left me alone at the table. Well, did you guys all go do cocaine? Oh my God! Oh, Lisa, please, why are you now going from stepping in shit to piling on cocaine? Oh, I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it.
The comments coming in, they're all saying hello from Scotland and London and everywhere, but they said that Erica said she overreacted to Eileen last night on Watch What Happens Live, so.
Well, she probably did overreact a little bit, but
I mean,
she was on a defensive mode. And by the way, I mean, if my kid was a cop, I'd never have 1 minute of sleep, just so you know. Well, I wouldn't let him be a cop. I don't know what I would do. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. What would I do? I'd tie him to the bed? I wouldn't let him be a cop. I'd be too scared. I'm scared. I love cops. I appreciate them. I'm so enamored by them. I think they're underpaid and overworked and too stressed out. But it's not something that I would be able to have in the background all the time, be worrying about. But in any event, so that's what happened. That was the elephant at the table, I guess, and it took a big poop. But so then Rinna goes, well, Dorit, do you trust your husband? I'm like, Lisa, please Serena, please, don't talk anymore. Do you trust your husband? Implicitly. I trust him implicitly. Then why are you worried about him looking at someone else's vagina? Oh my God, it goes on from there. And then who's the other one? The one with the black wig? The black wig, she wore the wig so soon. She was like a potted plant the whole strip. She's just there, like a potted plant. Like, what are you doing here? You don't say anything, you don't have an opinion on anything, you don't have a comment on anything. You got the wig on, you're disguising who you are. Are you auditioning for a wig model? I mean, hello? I didn't get her role last night, but anyway, she's a nice enough girl. Oh, that's the story. So now Eileen's had a taste of the wrath of Erica, and Lisa Rinna's back in it again. You'll see. Watch how that escalates. Then we're seeing the Housewives of Atlanta. Do you guys believe the rumor? Are you watching it, first of all? Are you paying attention? You need to start sending me your emails and telling me what you think and asking questions and giving your comments. But do you think, according to the rumor on the street, called Get the Ratings Up for the Reunion Street, do you guys think that Portia slept with Apollo before he went to prison?
Ooh.
Do you guys think he did? She did?
That's the rumor.
She got a different guy every week, so I don't know. I don't know about that one, allegedly. And then Candy and Kenya have both inferred that Phaedra was seeing a Mr. Chocolate, quote, boyfriend or texting him or whatever before Apollo went to jail. Do we believe that rumor? If Apollo did to me what he did to Phaedra, I would have no loyalty to him whatsoever. So I don't have any judgment about her seeing somebody if she was. I mean, she got this guy, got out of jail. He had a second chance. She set him up in the right circle. She set him up with money. She gave him a house, a roof over his head. She's got 2 darling little kids with him. And he goes out and gets himself back in legal trouble again. Who does he think he is?
Yeah.
Donald Trump? And then you know, Cherie's ex-husband apparently having this verbal abuse and then making a joke about it and then going to buy a ring to getting married again.
Yeah.
And then she makes a fuss before the ring comes out and walks in. I'm like, girl, get the ring on your finger and then tell him no.
So the consensus is that no one thinks Portia did that, but they all think Phaedra did that.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, Apollo, if he thinks he can sell a book or get back in the press, will probably say he did and have an opinion about it. And then we'll be talking about how big his dong is, blah, blah, blah. Then the Potomac taglines. If you're not watching the Housewives of Potomac, I'm just letting you know right now I'm not going to watch it. Can't get sucked into one more, but I will follow the highlights. So here are some of the taglines. One of them, the word on the street is, I'm still the word on the street. I like that one. One, I may be rough around the edges, but so are diamonds. Not bad. Why cry over spilt milk when you can laugh over champagne? Not bad either. Now, on our show, I came up with all my own taglines, and I had a better one than the one they used. I gave them 2 the last year, which was a lesson learned. Just give them 1. I knew they wanted me to give them 5. I'm like, if I give you 5, you'll pick. I'm picking 1, and I did it. But then the last year, I gave them 2, and of course, they picked the one I told them not to pick. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, my point to that is I think that most of the time the producers help come up with those taglines. Sometimes the girls do. I don't know. So this week, my little motivational advice was you can train your environment or it will train you. And one works for you, one you work at, and the other works for you. Meaning, if you train your environment, your life will work better rather than the other way around, having you be at the circumstance of your environment. And my beauty tip is if you sleep on your back, it's good to help prevent wrinkles because you're not scrunching the wrinkles, you know? And if you sleep on your back, you may as well put my serum on. And if you buy it, it'll come, by the way, with a white pussy hat. The white one. You can make it look like one, you see? If you buy it, you'll get the serum, you'll get the pussy hat. Speaking of on your back, I mean, have you ever seen any more girls roll over on their back than some of these shows? Oh my God. Now.
Hello from Germany.
Germany. Oh, hi.
And Jonathan Eddy says hello, that he photographed one of your events in the past.
Oh, nice. It must have been fabulous. Did I look good? How much photoshopping did I? Oh, I did my own hair and makeup today because I just got off the plane. Remember I told you guys I wrote that book? They guys didn't believe me. I said, well, I brought it out. I wrote this cosmetic design book. It talks about how to contour your face, how to contour your nose, all the stuff about inner and outer beauty. I wrote this many, many years ago, back before I was as fabulous as I am now. Let's see, moving right along. Dancing with the Stars. I haven't watched it this year, but apparently one of the dancers was caught grabbing somebody's crotch behind stage on the camera. But I'm going to tell you, you cannot blame these people anymore because the president has made pussy grabbing popular. It's just true. Oh, Lord. Oh, the questions. Do you think Erica overreacted towards her friend Eileen over your kid didn't, not like your kid didn't get killed comment? And Erica kept bombing her and seemed too much. What are your thoughts? I think she overreacted a little bit, but I think she had a bad day. Something's brewing. She's got some personal problems. Something she's not her, she wasn't 100% her normal self. And I think she's also just so guarded amongst these girls because she sees what they do to each other and she doesn't want to get in that with them, and she thinks it's all petty and superficial, and she doesn't like, like she called, what she said to Durrett, well, what you used to do was so superficial and so silly and so this and so that. She wants to be taken more seriously. And I think she wants to be taken seriously because she dresses so non-seriously when she performs. Because, that's just her act. And she wants to distinguish between her act and who she is. Oh, also, by Doritos, she calls her Doritos reaction to Lisa Rinna. Accusations about powdering up after dinner. Is that what it's called now, powdering up? I thought it was called doing a line or something back in the day. Wasn't it obvious, not to mention an uncomfortable? I just loved it, she says. This is from Lisa Price. They'll all have a vice on the show, whether it's pills, drugs, or alcohol, or gossip, I'll add that. Such a life is supposed to be. Oh, I hope you talk about this today. Well, Lisa from Syracuse, New York, I think I beat that little horse to death. Now, let's see what else I want to tell you. Oh, so anyway, my point was I did my own hair and makeup today. Oh, that Andy tweeted out. So Trump made up another one of his stories. He makes up these stories every day, kind of fabricates stuff. I think he really wants to be a fiction writer. But Andy tweeted, oh, sweetie, you're acting like one of the housewives on season 1 that wants to make sure they get brought back for season 2 with making up these stories. I thought it was funny. Even if you like Trump, you've got to give Andy credit. It was a very creative tweet. I think I might have retweeted it. Oh, Lord. What else is going on? Okay, now.
Happy spring break.
Happy spring break.
To Leah and Lil'Black.
Lil'Black? Is he down here? Oh, he's right there. Now, Dolly Parton, in other gossip news, helped 921 people that lost their homes in Tennessee from the wildfire. Yay, Dolly. Yay, good for you. RuPaul got married. I bet he made a beautiful bride. I didn't see the pictures.
I saw yesterday.
Oh, I didn't know that. NPR says that 14% of all community college students across the country are hungry or homeless. In the United States of America. I don't believe, that's just uncalled for. God, that's terrible. I mean, if I had any more time, I would start like a thing where I made all the restaurants take all their food down to the community colleges that they throw out every night. Somebody should do that. Go do that, somebody. Oh, Lord, I was going to tell you another story. I'll tell you that another day. Imposters on Bravo. Are you watching that? Oh, I didn't see it last night. I can't wait. I saw the cliffhanger the week before. It's so good. If you're not watching, you've got to TiVo it. Oh, my God, it's just so good. Are you guys watching it, Imposters?
No,
oh, it's good. My husband likes it, too. It's their first scripted show, Bravo to Bravo. Ah, the dog. What did somebody sent in the question, what did RJ think? I don't even know what the question means. Whatever, I don't understand. You have to rewrite it. Okay, so that's that. Not even a big deal. Oh, what did RJ think when I got kicked out of the restaurant? Well, first he thinks, Mom, you're embarrassing me. Then his second question is, well, will I ever be able to eat sushi again in Houston's? And I'm like, I'm not embarrassing you. I'm teaching you how to stand up for yourself and for a dog. Stand up for yourself. Oh, and then apparently Kyle has blocked Sassoon on Twitter. I wonder what that's about. I don't get the blocking thing. I mean, you don't like when somebody says just scroll past them. I don't know.
So
now,
Someone asked, what do you think about Brazilian people? They loved you and Adriana on the show, and then they said that, have you been to Brazil?
I haven't been to Brazil. I love the Brazilians. I have a lot of good friends that are Brazilians, and I have somebody that's a snake that's a Brazilian that I used to know. And I think Brazilian, I used to make this lotion for your legs called Sculptured Legs to keep women from getting cellulite and to get rid of it. If you had it, it was eucalyptus in it and massage it in. And it was my biggest accounts in the world came out of Brazil. The women obviously take care of themselves and want to look fabulous in those bikinis. So now I hear that
they are obsessed with imposters too.
Oh, you love imposters? It's so good. So, and the guy's so cute, isn't he? The one? Oh, two of them were. Anyway, so the dating stats, do you know we have this big audience of millennials? Well, who knew? I'm going to tell my son, honey, mom is hip now. So the millennials, just a little bit for you. Some dating stats. 30 minutes or less is the time it takes a majority of singles to decide if they want to see the first date again. So in 30 minutes, they'll size you up. So just know that. The first 30 minutes is important. If you want to see if they're going to see you again, you read and see what you think. And if you want to make sure they do, then, you know, put it on. 2/3 of singles prefer to date someone who works in another industry. Well, that's interesting. Maybe they don't want the competition. Maybe they don't want their relationship to be all about work. I don't know. 56% of singles prefer not to talk about work on a date. I wonder what they talk about. Maybe they're not working. Maybe they don't want anyone to ask them if they've ever had a job. They're sitting there with their boobs up to here, you know, and big old lips and all those extensions, and they don't want the guy to say, do you have a job? Because the answer is, honey, you're my next, I'm interviewing for one right now. This is an interview. 4 out of 5 singles are open to a kiss on the first date. Times have changed. 25 years of 25 years of changing lives, one match at a time. Oh, this is the company that's promoting it. Of course I should have known it was a commercial. Oh, God. Illuminati, that Twitter that I watch, listen to what it says. 5 things you should quit doing this week. 1, stop trying to please everyone. I've done that one. I've accomplished that one. Number 2. Don't fear change. I've accomplished that one. I embrace change. I like change. Don't live in the past. I think I'm pretty good about that. What about you? Do you live in the past? Some of you are 18, you don't know what the past is yet. Don't put yourself down. Do you put yourself down? Don't put yourself down anymore. And don't overthink things. That one I might be guilty of. Sometimes I think I do overthink things. I think, oh, God. You know, get the cobwebs in your head. Just a little gossip about nothing, a little tidbit of Seinfeld nothing gossip. Gallup poll says that Denmark and Norway are the happiest countries. Who knew? And Brunei, wherever that is, and Central African Republic, Jason, wherever that is, are the least happy countries. That's why you came here. But you better get over here fast. Immigration, you may not be able to come soon. If you don't have white hair and blonde hair and blue eyes. And then one of the top celebrity tippers, Tom Hanks, bought an espresso cappuccino machine for the green room that he was in on some show. Well, wasn't that lovely? I just leave my book, Lil'Black, in the green room and hope someone brings it up on the show. Well, here's a little bit of popular news. How many of you play Monopoly? Raise your hand. Well, they did... the fans at 4.3 million fans. That's a lot of people that play Monopoly. Who knew? They voted from 146 countries, and look who won. This is what's in. The rubber ducky, the T-Rex, and the penguin. And they're going to join Scotty the dog and the top hat, this car, the battleship, and the cat in the new edition of Monopoly. So if you have the old Monopoly thing, you need to save it. You know, it's like going to be an original. But I mean, I don't know which one I would pick if I was going to be. It wouldn't be that. It wouldn't be that shoe. I definitely wouldn't want to be, you know, reeling around any shit. I'm not going to be sewing. And that's a penguin. I don't want to go up where it's cold. I guess I'd have to have the duck. Be on the water.
They had like a whole bunch and everybody voted. Those were the fun.
Those were the ones that won.
Yep.
Okay, so listen to this. This poor little turtle. This is such a sad little thing. CNN reported that this turtle whose name Piggy Bank died. He was in Thailand. He had 915 coins, it was a she, in her stomach earlier in the month, meaning people were throwing coins, to wish in the fountain at the University of Bangkok. And she was recovered in the surgery through the University of Bangkok, but she was, after a 7-hour surgery, she fully recovered. But then her blood pressure dropped, her breathing was slow, and they took her to emergency intensive care, and she had an intestinal reaction and she died. So she died at 25 years, and these little turtles sometimes live, but can you imagine how sad would it be? You have so much gold and you have so much metal in your tummy that you're on, that's gonna be me. I'm gonna have so much metal, so many diamonds and earrings and bracelets and necklaces, and oh my God, I'm gonna be like crawling on the floor by the time I'm the age of the turtle. Now remember we talked about tattoos, and the millennials just went all over me on that one. We love the tattoos. Well honey, if you love them, good for you. I mean, you'll be taking them off one day, but enjoy them while you got them there. So apparently this new thing where people that are making shows are getting tattoos to promote in memory of the show that they did. So these actors, Rosie Huntington, Abby Lee, Joe Kravitz, Courtney Eaton, and Riley Keough, they played wives of a tyrant in a film, so they all got matching tattoos to commemorate the work on their film. They all got the same, 3 little dots and a triangle. So, I mean, now it's becoming like a cult thing. I don't know if I would do that. Now, here's one. Look at this guy. No half measures. Oh, this was the guy from Breaking Bad co-star that got an eternal reminder of his time on the show. Paul has no half measures, a nod to a quote from the show tattooed on his bicep from Breaking Bad. This one, Neil Patrick Harris got this one to commemorate a series of unfortunate events. I mean, listen, I don't know. I guess if I was a big movie star and I had a big film and I won a big Oscar, maybe I would tattoo an Oscar somewhere on myself, but I don't know. They're all getting them. Margaret Cho, Mark Jacobs. I mean, they're all just getting all these tattoos, but I hear from the millennials, Amber Rose is getting them. They're all getting them. And look at this page of them. I mean, this is just a lot. I mean, Justin Bieber's going to be like one big tattoo. Chris Brown's going to be another one. I mean, Melissa Carney. And then I was on a plane one time, and this guy walks in, and he looked like kind of familiar, but I couldn't place him. And he had a shirt on that was skin tight all the way down to here and to here and to here. And it was skin, I mean, every muscle in his body was showing. I looked up, it wasn't a shirt. It was all one big tattoo.
They call it sleeving.
It was a sleeving, and it was Tommy Lee, the drummer.
Yep.
I'm like, can you play at my charity event? Well, just a little gossip. Colorado has the trimmest people, and the most obese people come from Mississippi. That would be where that southern food. 11% of adults are obese, and it's having a major effect on the economy. And speaking of the economy, we're talking about healthcare right now. You know, I want everyone to have healthcare, and everyone should have healthcare, and it should be affordable, and it should be a privilege, and it should be a right, not like a law. But if you go out and smoke 20 packs of cigarettes a day and drink till your liver's done, and you eat potato chips all day and weigh 700 pounds, should you pay the same amount of money for your insurance that someone that's fit and trim and works out and eats right pays? I'm not so sure about that. I mean, you know, I don't know. What do you girls think? One last tidbit of information and we'll go. The most popular Girl Scout cookies by state. Hilarious. The mints sell the most on the West Coast. Wouldn't that just be so la-la land proper, having a little mint for their breath? Caramel's the second most, and peanut butter is the third most. Alaska likes the mints. Alaska also likes the peanut butter and the tagalongs. In Texas, it's the caramel and the s'mores. Florida's caramel, and Mississippi's also peanut butter. I thought that was interesting. Connecticut was peanut butter. I like the peanut butter. They're my favorite. So I think that's it for the week. Do we have any more questions? Do we have more comments? Do we have any more gossip?
I agree with you on the boycott health reform, and a few impeachments came up too.
Oh, well, is anyone watching? I mean, I mean, you know, half the White, or some people in the White House are allegedly, actually confirmed, no longer allegedly, under indictment for possibly criminal offenses. I think they should put the government on hold till we get to the bottom of that. We're getting ready to put a Supreme Court judge that'll be ruling on our lives for 25 years by what might be an illegitimate president. I don't know. I'm just asking. What do you think? Well, did we have fun? Lil'Black, did we have fun? Well, next Wednesday we'll see you guys here. My trip to New York was just fabulous. It was snowing one day. There was plenty of snow there. And, you know, went to all the fun places. My son went to see the Book of Mormon with my husband. I'd already seen it. I didn't want to sneak the dog in the bag. I was worried they were going to check for, you know, and I was like, oh, I don't want to be nervous, so I didn't go. Hung out with Frankie Grandi. Hi, Frankie. Follow him. He's the most fabulous. And so next week we'll be back, and then I've got to make a trip to Orlando. I'm going to see Jeff Lewis there, and we're going to have fun.
About the time.
What? Oh, email us, tweet us. Do you like the 12 o'clock noon slot, or do you prefer the 12:30 slot, or do you prefer the 1 o'clock slot? What's your best time to watch Lunch with Leah live? I know you're going to YouTube. I know you're going to Facebook. I'm watching it later, and of course I tweeted at nauseum, Lil'Black Miami. And I'd like to know what time you prefer, because we're picking up such a big, grand, fabulous following. I want to make it convenient for my viewers. What? Oh, and plus in LA in the summer, that's 9 in the morning for me. It's hard for me to wake up, but I'll do it for you. All right, everybody, thanks. We'll see you next week.